Welcome to Camp Chaos, where we celebrate the wild ride of modern womanhood.
Join us as we dish on motherhood, life's ups and downs, and all things pop culture that we know you want to talk about.
With special guests and expert insights, we're here to empower you through the chaos of everyday life.
Consider this your ultimate escape from the hustle and bustle, and as always, parental guidance suggested.
Camp is now in session.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Camp Chaos.
We are so excited to bring you a different type of episode today.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So what we have done is we have found 3 controversial mom TikToks, and we are going to give some chaotic commentary about our thoughts on said controversial TikToks.
And basically, we think they're controversial just because we don't agree.
Or do we?
I know. Find out. Okay, so bring out the first.
Okay, so the first one, which I feel like a lot of people have seen, and we will post like the whole thing on our Instagram, but it's basically about a mom who charged the other mom. So if Zane is coming over to my house, I said, thank you so much for letting Zane come over. Here are the expenses. Will you Venmo me $15 for the Playdate? And the mom who, like, her daughter went over for the Playdate is like, expenses? What are you talking about? And the mom says, chalk, $1. Applesauce, $1. Fruit, $1.
Fruit is expensive right now.
It is. It should be charging $3. Sat on the couch, wear and tear, $3. Oh my God. Broken LOL doll, $5. 3 juice boxes, $2. 3 trips to the bathroom, $3. Yogurt, $1. And then she said, I just received the money. Thank you so much. Hopefully this will make it easier for us to do these play dates more often. So she charged the other mom $15.
So I don't know if it's crazier that the mom asked or if the other mom sent it, because I would gladly say, thank you for hosting. I will send you the money, and my child will never come to your house again because of your crazy ideologies on what you think living in this world is and how you're raising your child. I don't want my child around this nonsense.
Well, I feel like,
and if you disagree with me, then Zane will not be going to Miller's house, and I will start sending you a bill for the Camp Chaos film days.
The bill that I would owe you.
I know. Taylor did say, she's like, oh my God, imagine if you gave me a bill, and imagine what it would be like: toilet paper, coffee. I just think about this though.
No, it's actually insane that this mom thought it was okay. And I'm really trying to understand like where she was coming from. But here's the thing is, like, when we do play dates, you are opening up your home.
You're hosting.
Yes. And so with that comes
a responsibility.
Wear and tear on the couch.
1,000,000%. And then
a couple squares of toilet paper.
Yeah. And then it's like you pay it back. Like, I'm going to host. You're going to host. I'm going to host. You're going to host. I also do want to be sensitive because I don't want to come from this very privileged state of like, oh, I understand that there's expenses and like, you know, it's hard to make ends meet for a lot of people right now. However, you need to know that like this comes with having children and having play dates.
Right. And maybe I feel like there could have been, like, if this mom is worried about, you know, money, which is totally understandable, like everything is so outrageous these days, especially food and drinks for kids. Maybe you ask, you know, if I'm worried, then I say, hey, Kyndra, would you mind packing Zane a lunch? Because we're going to go to da-da-da-da.
1,000,000%. And honestly, you know me, I would prefer to pack my kids a lunch.
As would I.
Here are my kids' snacks that I would love them to eat.
Yes.
I don't want them eating your red 40 and yellow 6, like whatever you're going to feed my kid. I'm just joking. But like, you know, I rather give them, you know, the Good Choice chips than the Lay's chips. Like, here is their lunch.
Yes.
That's a great idea. And wait, also, do you think that they're just doing this for clickbait?
I think she is, because I actually went to this mom's
It seems
TikTok.
like a joke.
Well, okay, then she went on the TikTok, you guys, and she said, like, I guess the other mom who had to Venmo her $15, like, posted this whole controversial thing too to her TikTok.
They were in on it.
And then everybody started Venmoing the mom that had to Venmo like a bunch of money, I guess. Like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous that you had to pay your friend or your daughter's
paying
friend.
The mom that paid the other mom?
Yeah, saying like, here's money back in your pocket. Blah, blah.
Excuse me. Well, they are onto something then.
The controversial mom came onto her TikTok and was like, what if this is rage bait? What if I just made up this story and made up this other name and it's actually linked to my Venmo and you guys are all paying me?
Oh my God, she's genius. Here I am hating on her. She's actually a genius. Wait, I had no idea. You know much deeper. I just thought, and I was like, you are ridiculous.
I don't know like what is actually truthful or not, but I do think she likely shared this to get a rage. But I feel like this is not the first time that I have seen like a mom say, I think we should charge for playdates. And listen, we have talked about this before. Like, it is really getting so out of hand and expensive, like what we're doing for the kids sometimes.
Oh
I mean,
God.
Sometimes when we take the boys, this was back when we just had the boys.
These poor girls do not leave the house.
These poor girls don't get anything. But when we had the boys, it's like, okay, matching outfits. Okay, ticket here. Okay, ticket here. And you're like, what are we doing?
Are you talking about the matching outfits for the Christmas train? Because
Yeah,
that was my
bought
fault.
them. No.
Yeah, it was a gift. Like, if I want to do it, then I'm doing it. I'm not
Yes.
Venmo requesting you.
No, you're not. But I'm saying, like, even when we were
Stay tuned for holiday 2024 where you will get all sorts of Venmo requests. I'm just kidding. No, but truly, it's like you have to understand, like, if you're signing up for these things, there is a cost associated. You can make really special things at home for free. There's so many ideas on Pinterest, but like charging for paint, charging for chalk, like that is insane, in my opinion.
the paint and the chalk,
Yeah.
the wear and tear on the couch, and the toilet paper squares.
Forget the paint and the chalk.
Forget the paint and the
The
chalk.
wear and tear on the sofa. Oh my God.
But I just think, because I feel like when we were doing the play dates with the boys, we were going all out for a while. Like, each of us were hosting. We were doing like an Easter one, a Christmas one.
I mean, I brought
you had Santa.
I brought Santa. But here's the thing that is so fucked up. Tay, I feel like I was healing my inner child, who, by the way, had the most beautiful childhood in the world. And I was like, I just want to share this with my kids.
Yes.
I don't know what demented world I thought I was living in. But we did things so early on for the kids. And now this is when they'd appreciate it being like almost 3. Like, where's
Yes.
Santa? Where's the Easter bunny?
We're like,
Where's that?
not here.
No, we ran out of money.
We
We are actually going to be paying for a nanny, and we will be going out to heal ourselves from all the shit that we did in the first 2 years of your lives, trying to make things so special and draining the bank
I think
account.
we were so excited to be moms that it was like, let's create these like extravagant play dates. But I think that like the conclusion for me here is everybody needs to be on the same page. Like, if on both ends of the spectrum, like if you're going to host elaborate play dates, great. Like, let that be known, and let it also be known that I won't be charging you for said elaborate play dates.
Totally.
If this is like a circumstance where you say, hey, I'd love to have all the boys over, can everybody just like pack their kids to lunch? Because I didn't have time to go to Costco this week. That's also totally fine.
But Tay, I'm going to be honest with you, like, and for all my friends out there, I have a phobia of cheapness. Like, if you are cheap, like, I'm good with frugal. Frugal is my jam. If you are cheap, I can't fuck with you. Like, I will literally be like, thank you, bye. We are not going to be friends. If you are going to charge me for that, like, I don't want you around my children. I don't want cheap mentality. I don't want cheap mindset. I don't want cheap, and like, you need to be generous. You need to host. You come in, my kid is going to offer you a drink, which like that is also very weird.
Right.
But like, you need to be a gracious host. You need to be a giver. You do not need to be a taker. I don't want my kids around you. So like, if you are that person, please send me a text message and I will gladly say, here's whatever I owe you for whatever play date you posted, and we are no longer friends. That is
Yeah,
my mindset
I
as a
know,
mom.
and
I'm
it's,
sorry.
like,
You're
kinda
so much
sad.
nicer than me.
I am, but I feel like it's kind of sad.
You
for
said
the
I
kid.
am.
I feel like it's kind of sad for the kid too. Like, they were just going to have fun. They didn't know that
I
this
feel
was
bad
gonna,
for their
like,
kid.
Charge. Totally.
I feel bad for their kid.
The kid's probably embarrassed.
You can, I will gladly still host you at my house, that your kid, not you, but my kid will not be going to your house. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know. I kind of agree with that.
Okay, good. Oh,
Okay,
that was
we
the
kinda-
easiest. That was the easiest convincing I ever had to do.
That sounded chaotic, just like getting that
I know.
out.
I think I'm sweating. I was really
Okay,
passionate
so
about that.
the next controversial TikTok, I don't know how controversial it is, but it's basically about a mom who says, you know, there's the trend where you show a photo of your kids and they are like decked out to the nines, the hair is done, the outfit's cute, and then you show yourself and you look like a haggard mess.
I think it says like behind every adorable dressed child is a mom who like can
Looks
barely
like-
get it together and looks like trash.
Exactly. And her like controversial take on it is that like she doesn't believe in that. Like, she believes that you, one, shouldn't set that example for your kids. Like, you should be able to get up in the morning and, you know, somewhat put yourself together, and you shouldn't make your kids like put this belief out there that your kids make you this haggard mess kind of thing.
Yes. And also like you are a priority and your self-care is a priority
She did say
as
that.
well.
Yes.
But I do think that like the mom, whoever created this, there's always one person that created this and then it goes viral and then all of the other moms are doing it. I do think they do it for clickbait. And then what's dangerous about that is moms think, oh yeah, that is okay that I look like a mess. And like, it's so relatable and it brings you into this like swamp of motherhood that like you should just be like gross and disgusting. And like, as long as your kids look cute. You and I both have had this conversation. Like even the day after postpartum, I'm like, where's my concealer and a little mascara because I want pictures and I don't want it to look like I was this disgusting mess. But I feel better. Like I don't feel good if I look like in the mirror and I'm like, holy shit, like who's that girl? And then my kids are like in their like cute little outfits. No,
my mom has taught me from a very young age. She always said, you get up and get ready for the day. Even if that means like concealer and a little bit of lip gloss or like put a little mascara and put a brush through your hair, whatever it is. Cause going to like an all girls Catholic high school, I literally looked a mess every single day. Like I would sleep in my uniform with my dance team clothes under so that I could roll out of bed as late as possible.
I was going to say it doesn't sound like you, but when you said roll out of bed as late as possible, because you do love sleep.
I love sleep.
You love sleep.
And I danced till late and then I had to be at school like early in the morning. So you'd get dressed
the night before. Oh my
I
God,
would literally get dressed. So all I had to do is brush my teeth. But after that, she would say that because she's always like, you never know who's going to come to your door. Like some people just show, I don't know, maybe they're like dropping off a gift and you're like, oh wow, I haven't brushed my teeth and I still have pajamas and no bra on.
Yeah. It's called just hygiene and responsibility of like,
is.
yeah. And what example you're setting forward for your kids.
Yes. But I will say, as a mom, it has taken a whole other life on for me of getting ready for the day. Like it is my mental health. Yeah. It is the first thing I do. I literally wash my face and we'll put concealer, blush, and mascara on. Yeah. And Drew's always like, why are you doing your makeup? Like we're sitting at the house today. I'm like, because it makes me feel a little bit more like me. I did it very early in postpartum. I think I posted on my Instagram like about it. I have a whole different set of cheap drugstore makeup that I do for every day that I don't even have to pull my makeup bag out.
It's like that is the bag that this is my getting ready for my everyday mom.
This is my 4 products for my mom day. And it makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, like you have your shit together. Yes. You know what? And I think even, okay, so you're the situation where your kids get up at 8 o'clock. Like my kids will sometimes get up at 6:30 and like you've already gotten your workout in and your glam is on and then you're getting your kids, which I love that for you, but it's just not my reality.
Well, it's not the reality for most people.
For most. So, but like Zane, for example, this morning, like I knew we were going to be filming. I'm like, okay, you're up at 6:30. That's cool. But like you're going to my bathroom. OneSkin sent us that amazing skincare. I'm like, you're unboxing this with me and we're using it. Like I let him put it on my face. Like I'm making you a part of it, but mommy is getting ready.
Yes.
I'm not going to plop you in front of the TV, which no judgment. Like I also will do that. But like you are going to see that mommy is getting ready. Mommy is doing makeup. Mommy's sitting in the vanity. And that may be a controversial topic, but I think that making them a part of like mommy needs to get ready and mommy needs to feel good for the rest of the day to go on. Because Auntie Tay-Tay's coming over.
Because we are filming for Kyndra.
Mommy has a play date.
But I also want to acknowledge that I know that maybe this is not a priority for all moms. Yeah. Like people don't think that, you know, that's the most important thing, which is totally fine. But I would encourage you, even if you are in that belief set, to just like wake up in the morning and spend 5 minutes on yourself. Like if makeup's
even
not
if
your
it's
thing,
meditation.
Yeah, it's like doing skincare in the morning or like brushing your hair and putting it in a cute ponytail with a hat instead of like throwing it in a messy bun. Just something to say that you spent 5 minutes making yourself look and feel better, I think makes a world of a difference for moms. So I feel like maybe I am with this TikTok mom that I don't love that trend.
I don't love it, but I will also say like this is normally what we are wearing.
Right.
This is a uniform.
And we normally like if you're follow or watching us on YouTube, we normally don't have this much makeup on.
Yeah, agreed. But like we are in, you know,
Lulu's.
We're in Lulu's, Aloe, Vori, you name it. But like I also do think I've started putting on Skims shirt and Levi's. Like that was like my uniform for a while. And which I think like even getting out of your Aloe, because I didn't match my kids when I was leaving. And I'm like, wait a second, they are dressed. And like I am still in what looks like I worked out or I could have slept in. By the way, I did sleep in this shirt. So like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth right now. But you know what I mean? Like you do need to look like put together sometimes. And I feel so much better when I'm like, oh, I have an outfit on.
Yes, totally. You know, I will say like I am never a jeans to take my kids out during the day. Like even preschool or Mommy and Me with Miller, it was like I was always in Lulu's. So much so that I would forget like for dinner that was not acceptable to wear.
You're like, wait a second, Mastros, you will not be taking me because of my athleisure wear? Oh, okay.
But I do think like, yes, even if it's that, like putting on jeans instead of your Lulu's, just like 5 minutes for yourself and like your mental health, and maybe throw on a podcast called Camp Chaos, like while you're doing that, it makes a world of difference. And then
Agreed.
and then you feel like you're going out into the world with the kids all looking cohesive. Because all of our kids are so freaking cute. So they're not the issue here. It's us.
No, we're always the issue.
We are always the issue. Okay, our last controversial TikTok for the day. What do you do if your kids don't eat the dinner that you make? Let me go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say
my kids never eat the dinner that I make.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
Never.
I really don't.
You guys, it's my own fault. Also, my husband and I are very picky eaters. So
of
like
course you birthed too.
And it's very hard for us to get angry or frustrated with our kid, with Miller, because he's a very picky eater when we are the same way. So like we did try to introduce him to all the foods. Like I don't eat seafood and cheese.
And you still tried to give that to him.
We gave it both to him and he did eat it. And then
But did you give it to him regularly or like, oh, I gave it to you once in a while?
Okay, we went to Great Maple like once every 2 weeks. And every time we went there, he was having salmon.
Okay, so you tried.
I mean, I don't cook. I don't know how to cook seafood at home. But I gave him like little spoon. I gave him the mac and cheese. Like he still eats cheese and stuff right now. But now we're in the routine of like he has his repertoire of 5 things. And that's what it is for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh my, I honestly give you so much credit for not wanting to wring his neck because
But that's how I was growing up.
Yeah, see.
I ate, you guys, the same lunch from kindergarten through 12th grade. Every day I had a peanut butter sandwich, no crust, goldfish.
So it's just genetics.
Goldfish.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Doritos and fruit. Like that was,
a little Roundup in there. And
yes.
Yeah. So I feel like for my kids, I will cook for them a ton, but then I also DoorDash. So like Zane will be like, Mommy, I want Ferretti's. Mommy, I want to go to Javier's. I'm like, oh yeah, me too, Zane. But you know what? I hate to break it to you, Mommy made salmon. I am in this state right now with Zane where he has not napped for so long. So like when it comes dinner time, like we try to feed them pretty early at 5:30 because he gets overtired. He's so ready for bed that he'll like try to get sugar. So I will admit, like I will be the mom that you are asking me for a cookie or you're asking me for, the Good Smart gummies, whatever that may be. And I will have his salmon, broccoli, rice, like or whatever, his pasta, like his meal with sugar. And I'm like, okay, you go one of these, and a gummy. Mm-hmm. And we do it in a little circuit because I just need you to eat. But thank God I didn't get good sleepers, at least with Zane, but I got really good eaters.
Yeah.
I don't know how moms would do it where you have slaved over a meal and then they don't eat it.
Well, I could tell you.
But also like when they say force, what does that mean?
Well, yeah, I also don't know about this too. I don't know if she's referring to this because you know how sometimes, or maybe it's just my kid, but sometimes he's like not feeling that great by the end of the day or whatever. Maybe he's tired or like his tummy hurt because he ate too much, for lunch or whatever. And he will not really eat dinner. Like we're sitting there feeding him grilled chicken and French fries or whatever it is that we're trying to get him to eat. And he's like, Mommy, my tummy hurts. I don't want any more.
And it's so important to teach these kids, like, listen to your bodies.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. But you guys, this mindset changed for me, I would say like within the last year, because I tried so hard to not make Miller a picky eater. I think I like made him a picky eater, but I used to cry
backfired.
because I was like, Drew, I'm so stressed out every time I put him in the high chair. Like he doesn't want to eat. And then it takes us like what should be a 30-minute meal is an hour and a half. And then I have to turn on a show and then I have to turn it off because now I'm setting up screen time. Like I stressed myself out over it that now Drew and I look at each other like, he doesn't want to eat today.
So
like if he's
stress
hungry,
is associated with food.
for me, I think. I don't know.
I think
he probably
he
felt
picks
it.
up on that. Sorry.
But my pediatrician was like, if he's hungry, he'll eat. Like if he doesn't want dinner today, like if he's not going to sit there and eat everything on his plate, it's okay. And I think we've come to that mindset. And now it seems to me like he's so much better. He is still very picky.
He's more relaxed.
He's so relaxed.
Because you're relaxed.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that I will say with my good eater. Even though he's a good eater, I have to still feed him. And that may be a hot take, but like he'll be 3 in a couple months and I still feed him. Like I put food in his mouth and
with a fork or like
with a fork, with anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, a knife, a spoon, a fork,
whatever.
My fingers, my toes. As long as I could put food in your mouth, it's going in your mouth. But I have heard, from my pediatrician, like you do need to like at a point, like put them in front of it and they need to be in control. Zoe is like, honey, I got this. Don't touch my food. I have got this. I do also think that like for my parents, or at least my dad was Southern, he was older and he was very militant of like, you do not leave the table until your food is finished and you say, can I be excused? And I will not do that to my kids. Like my mom would literally teach me, she's like, put the food in the napkin and then say you have to go to the bathroom. Like if you don't want to eat it, I'm like, thanks mom. Because I do think it created this weird unhealthy relationship with food where, okay, I need to finish this, but my body's telling me I'm full. So I definitely tell Zane, Zoe will learn it. And my 27-pound-year-old 1-year-old, she's just not listening to her body at this point. But Zane, I'm like, if you're feeling like you have a tummy ache or if you're feeling like you're full, you need to excuse yourself from the table and you don't need to eat anymore. Because I think we can create really bad food relationships.
Well, totally. And you just
early on.
Yeah, you see like the bad habits you create with the first. I think this is just like an overgeneralization. And then you try to like fix it with the second. And I will say, this is like the
first one's our trial child.
Yes, that's me. I'm the trial child.
Yeah.
The little spoon meals with Miller, I personally used to feel like such a failure if he only ate half of his meal, which like now looking back, I'm like, who cares?
Ridiculous.
That was amazing that he even ate half of
100%.
it. So Palmer is not a picky eater so far. Like I give her anything. And I used to also be so afraid with Miller. Like if we were out to dinner, I'm like, oh, he can only eat the baby food. Like he can only eat the non-seasoned
like of choking
food.
Or what? Allergies?
Yeah, like I didn't do baby-led weaning with him. Yeah. So like he really didn't eat like what we were eating until he was after a year. Palmer, since she was 6 months, it's been like, yep, here's little pieces of everything that we were eating.
Oh, I just had a girlfriend here and I was feeding Zoe a croissant and she was literally eating the whole thing. And she was like, you are stressing me out. Like she's going to choke on something. And I feel like it's totally the energy of the mom, what translates to the child.
And like, yes. And what you feel comfortable with. This second time around, I feel so much more comfortable in motherhood. And so I've given Palmer so much more. I've also taken the stress out of it for me. So now when I give her the little spoon meals, I even tell, I'm like, oh, let's, Drew, just give her half. She doesn't need to eat the whole thing. Yeah. Like it's amazing that she ate half of it.
100%.
And I feel like that's why she's like,
it's a win.
She's throwing half of it on the floor. But I'm like, you tasted something new today that mommy didn't cook. It had a ton of veggies in it. And great. That's
and we're carrying on. See you at the next meal.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know. I think it's weird with this whole force of like, do you force? I truly believe with these kids, they need structure and they need routine and they need discipline. But at the same time, they do need autonomy and they need some sort of like independence of listening to themselves. So I am truly that mom that will like be like talking out of both sides of my mouth of like, okay, here's where you can be independent. Here's where you're going to listen to mommy and you're going to sit your ass down. Like it's weird how you figure out so much more about yourself through raising these kids.
Also,
but like
by dinner, I'm so tired.
You're so fucking
I'm like,
tired.
You don't want to eat? Oh, perfect.
Like, that's cool.
I don't care. Whatever.
You want to speed up bedtime? Let's go. I know.
Ready for bed right now? 5 o'clock. Let's go.
Hopefully you loved our unpopular opinions and maybe agreed, disagreed, but our Chaos Chronicles.
Our Chaos Commentary Chronicles. No, that was fun. If you guys have any like good controversial mom topics or like TikToks that we can give some good commentary, send our way. We would love to hear them. But that was fun. All right. Thanks for listening to another episode of Camp Chaos. See you next time.
Bye.